Hey, it's Randy Burgoyne with Impactization, and had a little question online. I thought I'd share a quick video on how to purchase a computer. Now, let's just say that you're buying a computer for a student. Let's say it's a junior high or high school student. You want something that's rugged, not necessarily terribly expensive, but solid enough that's going to last for a few years with a use and abuse of a student, right? Now, one of my favorites is Lenovo brands. They're very rugged, well-built computer systems. And so I'm going to show you how to buy one on Amazon. Now, I shop just about everywhere, but Amazon gives me a great tool on showing you how to purchase a computer. So I'm going to jump over here to Amazon, and I'm logged in with my Prime account right there. And I'm going to search for a Lenovo laptop computer. Okay. Now, I like to use the Prime free shipping. Also, it tends to give you better deals with the most popular resellers that are on Amazon. I don't necessarily care to get it by tomorrow. It's not under Prime Wardrobe. Let's leave reviews off for now. I select Lenovo, so I'm only going to see Lenovo. And here I have processor type. Okay, that's the first thing that you want to look at. For a student, a Intel Core i3 is probably adequate, or even an AMD A series is certainly adequate. So we can check the i3. I have to keep scrolling down here. And we can also pick the AMD A6. Let's compare them by price. All right. Now, laptop size. Here's something to look at. If you have a 15-inch or larger display, it typically comes with a 10 keypad on the keyboard. In other words, the whole laptop's big enough to include a 10 key. And I'll show you real quick on this, just this computer right here. As we come up to the pictures and we take a look at the keyboard, there's the 10 key on the side. So that's good if you want it for a student that's learning, or in a business environment. They need the 10 key. Here it's the 15.6 inch screen, LCD screen. So let's go back and let's say, okay, we're going to pick the 15 inch to 15.9 inch, in other words, the 15-inch class. Now, hard disk size. There's going to be 3 different types of hard drives that show up. You can select a number of different types, and let's go back up to one of the options that we had selected, and here's a great computer that I want to just highlight right here. Here's the 2019 flagship Lenovo IdeaPad 330. Good entry-level computer, very solid, well made. Let's take a peek at it and see what it's got as far as features. Okay, it has the 15.6 inch LED display like we talked about. It has the dual-core i3 8th gen. Now, if you look at the number that follows the i3, i7, i5, etc., that first digit will show you the generation. This is an 8th generation, which is pretty recent. The 9th generation is just coming out, but that gives you an idea of that it's a good quality, solid system. Okay, now the next thing we're going to look at is it has 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's what I recommend as the minimum for Windows 10. Okay. Now this also has a 1 terabyte hard disk drive. So hard disk drive means it's the standard platter. It has the rotating platters that will read the data. By today's standards, those hard drives are getting slow, right? So let's go back and let's look for one that has some options for solid state memory. Here's one, but I'm going to skip over this one because It's an Intel i5, but it's a 4th gen, so it's an older, slower computer. Okay, here's one, the flagship 2019 IdeaPad 330, dual core 8th gen. This one has some options for solid state drives. So this might be a better one to look at. So let's click and take a closer look at this one. All right, here's this computer. It has the 15.6 inch LCD display. It has a dual core i3 processor, the 8th gen. All right, you can customize it now. See this customize button over there? Instead of a price, you can customize it between 4 to 8 gigabytes of RAM, and you can pick the size of your solid state device. It's going to come with a webcam, USB Type-C ports, and Windows 10. Okay, when it doesn't say Home or Pro, generally you're going to expect that it's going to be Home. Now the difference is the Home is great for students, home users, and so on. But if you're going to use it in a business, I highly recommend you get Windows 10 Pro. And nowadays you can upgrade it by just doing an in-place upgrade to Windows. Microsoft has that path, but it's going to cost you another $100. So just plan on that if you're going to add Pro to an existing system that has Windows 10 Home already on it. Okay, so let's go to Customize now and take a look. First of all, we need to select the RAM size. 8 gigabytes is great. I think that's just what we'll use it for here. And you know what? They're giving you some hints here. 4 gig is basic but slow. 8 gig is great. I don't go to 4 gig. Please stick with 8 gig or even 16 gig if you think you're going to be using heavy graphics, computer-aided design, and so on. But for now, this illustration, we're going to stick with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, RAM is your working space. That's where your software operates as you're using it. Hard drive is your storage. What happens when you turn off the computer? You need a place to store your C drive, D drive, so on. This gives you some options for solid state device and hard disk. Hard disk is going to be larger and less expensive than a typical solid state drive, but it's also going to be slower. So if you can balance that out, I would say you'd be much happier with a solid state device that's a little bit smaller than spending that money on a great big huge hard disk drive. Okay, but you balance that out. In this example, I'm going to use 256 gig SSD. I think that's adequate for most students and be able to hold lots of data, but work fast and efficient. Now, in this case, you can pick the color. You want purple or red on this particular model. And that's it. $519 is really quite an excellent price for an i5 or i3, I'm sorry, laptop. And in fact, let's go back to orders or cart. Here we go. So here we are back at the shopping cart, and we are going to get the i3 processor with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gig solid state drive. Excellent little computer for a student, for a home user, for even a lightweight business computer. This would work great. And so if you figure your budget is around $500, this is a really good option. So here, anyway, this is just a little guideline on how to buy a computer and some things to work for. Later I'll create some other videos on how to buy a higher end computer, what to look for as far as just the ultimate speed machine, gaming, graphics, graphic design, 3D CAD, whatever you might have. So anyway, thanks for watching, and be sure to like and share and subscribe wherever you see Impactization. Thanks, and have a great day.